today let us discuss about the RICE W. Okay.
Yes.
So now RICE RICEFW. Okay. So now everybody will say that one. So RICE objects, RICE objects. So now the RICE objects is starting that which is going to, there is a separate application for the RICE. So it has been divided like this. Okay. So now let us see the how it has been divided the RICE. So now first let us put like this. So what is R stands for? Then I stands for, then C stands for E, F, W. So now let us see what is the application of this one. What is the application of this one? Then it's a reports. I'll explain. Once let me write it here. Reports, interfaces, conversions,
Enhancement forms workflow.
conversions, yes. Enhancements, then forms, forms, then workflows. So now this is the application of the RICE. So now let us see the one by one because the people will get confused. So now in the most of the projects in the implementation project, so now do you have the RICE ID? So now how the RICE IDs will be created. So now some people may create a separate ID for reporting for enhancement. Okay, I'll give the example.
Sir,
First,
sir, I'm
yes,
getting calls from. Yeah, okay, sir. I'm getting
please
calls
take.
from manager. 1 minute, 1 minute.
Take.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Yeah, no problem, no problem, no problem. Okay, so now let us continue the first. Let us say the how what is stands for. Okay, so now we just seen about first. Let us discuss about the reports. R stands for
Report.
reports. So now let's say how the R's how the RICE IDs will be get created. First of all, before going to the RICE, before going to talk about the RICEs, then we need to talk about RICE IDs because in the implementation projects, most of the times 99% will be created the RICE IDs. Okay, so now before going to this one, how the RICE RICE IDs. Okay. First of all, what is meant by RICE ID? I'll put like this. What is mean by RICE ID? Then how it will be created in projects. How it will be, because the RICE ID might be part of implementation project, might be part of support project also. Because if I want to extend any business function, okay, so first then even we must have to use the RICE ID that has to be approved by the manager. Okay, so now first let us see the what is mean by RICE ID. So RICE ID is nothing but a, okay, so now okay, so So now the RICE ID is a specific number to identify the to identify the task, or today to identify the task, or I would say the or development, or or development. Okay, so now let's say the RICE ID is nothing but to identify the task or development, something to be fulfilled, meaning that, yeah, Neeraj, if you don't mind, could you please keep on mute
Yeah,
whenever you want to speak? Yeah, unmute and speak out. Okay, so now the RICE ID is a specific number to identify the task development. Okay, so now what I am going to do, let's say I'll give a small example for the RICE ID, which I am going to say F5 for, because last week we have seen accounts payable and accounts receivable vendor aging report. I will mention like this F501. Okay, so now F501 is a, so now F5 is a module, finance module. 01 is my RICE ID. Okay, F501, okay, stands, the report is a accounts payable, aging aging report, I will, like, if we have that again, F502, then I'll put it here, accounts receivable aging report. So now the aging sorry, the RICE IDs will be based on the module wise. Remember, I'll put the point here. The very important point here is that the RICE IDs, I'll put here the note, the RICE ID number should be based on each module, or those will be sequence for all modules, in the sense. Then what it will happen, let's say now F5 for finance purpose, I have created these two, accounts payable and accounts receivable. Let's say there is a new requirement, then new requirement may come SD01, SD02, but most are the cases I would prefer here module wise they will prepare the, yeah, RICE IDs will be prepared based on the module wise, because if they will go for the, or project wise also, okay, they will go for the project wise, but the best practice would be they have to follow the module wise, so that they can identify. Okay, in the, even in the interviews also they will talk about what about the RICE ID status F501, what is the current status of F502, they will ask the status like this. Then coming to the next one, then coming to the up, okay, so now we'll talk about then how the RICE, sorry, can, okay, so I'll put the note here. The RICE IDs are created for based on module wise, or project wise. Just remember this one. Then how it will be created? How it will be created in the project? In how will be created in projects means, then they are created like this. They are created for each and module. For each and module, how it's a depends on the team. It will be created. Okay. So now the RISIF ID. How first of all, how to find out the RISIF IDs? So now wherever the standard SAP system does not support for the client requirements, then we must have to remember the important point is that wherever the standard SAP does not support for the client requirement, then we have to create one RISIF ID to fulfill that client business requirement. To fulfill the client requirement, I'll put here. So okay, the purpose, the purpose, the purpose is to create a RISIF document wherever the standard SAP system
Does not
doesn't,
meet the
yes, it
client requirement.
does not support or does not meet for the client requirement, then the RISIF ID, then okay, then this will come into picture. Come into picture. So we have to create a separate RISIF ID for that one to fulfill the requirement. Okay, to fulfill the client requirement, to fulfill the client requirements, we must have to create a separate doc separate we must have to create a separate RISIF ID for that development or development. It may be development, it may be enhancement, it may be interface connection, whatever it may be. So now this is what we have seen. Now let's say, now my requirement would be, what is the approval process, right? Now we have created the RISIF ID. Let's say now accounts payable. Let us talk about, I have a RISIF ID, which I have created the RISIF ID. Okay, so now what we have seen, the functional specification like that, we have created one RISIF ID, because even in the functional specification also there is a ID, it is there to identification to identify that one. Then once the RISIF ID will be created, remember, once the RISIF document will be once the RISIF document will be prepared by consultant, it should be reviewed with 4 team members and get it approved. Then see, once the once the object once the right once the object will be approved by business means like a core team member, process owner, whoever is the responsible person will be approved. Then we need to hand over it for development team. We need to hand over it for the respective team. I'll put it the respective teams, like it's a ABAP team, okay, or it's a security team, whatever it may be, ABAP team or security team, just for our understanding. This is how the process is going to takes place. Then okay, so Neeraj, is this the process is clear? How the RISIF ID is created? How we need to get approval from the management, because this step is a very, very crucial. Remember, in case if the management, I mean management or business will not be approved this one, again we need to rework this one. Okay, remember that point I did not mention that one. We must have to rework with the again we must have to rework. Okay.
Okay.
And also in case, remember the important point here, very, very important point here is that while okay, while reviewing while review while reviewing that object with the business, we have to provide the, remember this is also very, very important, hours estimation to complete the task, to complete, I'll put it end to end, to complete the end to end task. So we must have to update the efforts also. Okay, we must have to end to end, right? End to end. Okay, to complete that end to end tasks. Okay, to complete it, like if there are any functional side. Okay, so now how much efforts it took to prepare that the RICE ID, then let's say 1 day. Okay, 8 hours. Then once we reviewed with the business, then after that we have hand over that to the technical team for development. Then we need to get the information from technical team, how much hours will it take to complete that document, that efforts. Now once that will be, then we have to update. Then after that, how much time does it take to complete the unit testing? Then after that, how much time does it take to perform the UAT? Okay, then after that, how much time does it take to move the changes from quality system to production system? All the efforts to be provided like this. Then I would say the functional efforts, let's say the 20 hours. Then let's say the technical technical hours. So let's say the technical hours, it will take 30 hours. Then let's say the, okay, let's say the TR moment. So the transport movement, let's say that I'll mention the TR moment, it's a 4 hours. Okay, so 4 hours I'll mention here. So to complete the entire task, this one, okay, total hours. Okay, total hours to be total hours, the sorry. So now these are the hours, the total hours to complete this one, total hours. So like this, we must have to provide them. Like this, we must have to provide hours estimation also to the management. Remember. Then moving back to the, again, let us start with the, okay, any queries so far, Neeraj?
Sir. No, sir.
Okay, thank you, no problem. So now let's continue
The
the
functional
report.
effort means that we, right? A technical effort means
Exactly.
technical effort means
ABAP team.
ABAP.
ABAP.
TR movement.
ABAP team.
TR move. Okay,
Basis
okay.
team, right? Basis team, the
Yeah,
TR movement should be.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
ABAP
Basis team. Okay.
team. ABAP team. Okay, remember the functional efforts means, I'll put it here. Don't confuse. FICO. Okay, FICO consultant. Then this here is a technical. So here is a TR movement who is going to take care is a basis team. Okay. Then we must have to, you must have to remember all these things. Then coming back to the reports are, okay, what we have discussed, reports. Okay. So now what exactly the report it is going to represent, that one. Okay. So what it is going to exactly representing the reports. So now reports might be So R stands for reports, as we have discussed. A reports, it could be execution programs, or it could be a standard SAP reports, or it could be a custom reports which we need to develop, or which we need to work with the technical team, or ABAP queries. Okay, so now the reports, it could be anything. Okay, so now the reports might be a standard SAP reports which we are going to talk about. It could be a, then first of all, reports are nothing but a reports are nothing but a executable programs. Executable programs. This is a very, very important. Executable programs. Okay. Then the programs, the programs should should read should okay. The program mm, should read the data from multiple tables and should be okay, tables and generate. Okay, I'll put it, and generate for business, generate for, okay, business requirement, according to business requirement, is generate according to
Okay.
according to business requirement, that the reports. Okay, reports are stands for, it should be executable programs. Then the report should be generated based on the selection screen parameters, and it should read the data from the multiple tables. Then it should get display for business requirement. Then the reports might be a, the reports, it could be a, the reports could be could be standard SAP reports, standard SAP reports, or it's a custom reports, custom custom reports. The next one, queries, standard reports, queries. Okay, ABAP queries, I think you know, right, about ABAP queries. So standard SAP reports are stands, like I have some reports like a BL5 and reports I have. Then I have that, let's say some asset history sheet I am having. Then there are n number of
The standard reports are there.
yes.
Okay. Custom report means if the standard report is not meeting the client requirement, then we will do the some customization, and that is called custom report, right, sir?
Exactly. Custom reports, in the sense, as we talked in the last week, right? There are
Yeah, yeah,
the customer aging report, vendor aging report. Those are the custom reports. Okay, either
yeah,
it could be a standard standard reports or custom reports. But in case
yeah.
of, if there is any custom reports, okay, then we must have to
Mm.
understand the logic. Remember, for standard reports, okay, that's fine. But for custom reports, we must have to understand the logic, how we are going to build the program, how system should fetch the data from the tables. We need to understand the logic. Then we need to give it to the technical team for enhancement purpose, for customization purpose. Then queries are like SQ03, SQ02, SQ01. There are only three transaction codes are there. If you know the about the tables and field combinations which should have the relationship, then we can, being as a functional consultant, even
Mm.
we can also develop the ABAP queries. But nowadays the ABAP queries are, most are the peoples are not using. In case if there is any
Mm.
old, the existing reports or existing functionalities are available, even the clients are moving the existing functionality to existing queries to S4HANA system, from old ECC system to S4HANA system. Because the reason being that they are familiar with that reports. Okay, until to get I mean, if they want to become familiar, until to become familiar for S4 HANA system, they want to use the old reports also. Just lift and shift. That's
Okay.
it. The programs, even queries. Okay. So now this is what about the reports. Okay. Now I. What does it mean by the I? This is a very important one because Ricify this everybody may know, may not know, but Ricify, I mean the R reports many peoples in real time environment. Most of the peoples will have the experience, then reports point of view. Then interfaces are very important. So now I'll put it I. Here is the R. R stands for I stands for interface. So now what does it mean by the interface? Okay, now during the when you are going to finalizing the requirements, okay, in that phase itself, then you must have to identify the business process, then explore. Remember the interface requirement, the interface the interface mapping requirements to be finalized during the explore phase. Because see, now if we are not finalizing at the time of explore phase, what will happen? Now the business is already been started the testing, now they want to build this program logic, then they want to have this interface connectivity now, but that is not the correct way, right? Because they must have to identify the requirements during the explore phase, then they have to give it to that, then or they have to um, communicate to properly to the respective teams. Okay. So now the interface. Now let us see the interface systems. Remember the very important thing is the interface systems in SAP perspective. I am talking about the interface systems could be a SAP system, SAP systems, or third party systems, the interface. So now let me explain you the few of the examples here. Okay, how? Because I have explained about SAP, I have explained about the third party system. So now let us see the, so now I'll take the example here. Now I have the SAP system. Let's say I have the central component is a my SAP system. This is my, this is my, let's say the SAP finance system. So finance system is nothing but a where they are going to where they are going to feed their only the finance related business transactions, because where they want to draw the financial reports. Okay. Now let's say I have a interface. I have a interface. Then I have a SAP system. It is there. SAP system for sales transactions, for sales, and okay, I'll put it for ESD and transactions. So now I have the system, call it as a, in order to post my sales and SD and business transactions, because all inventory related transactions to be executed in this system, all inventory related transactions, then I'll put it here, all inventory related transactions to be happened in this system. Then all finance related all finance related transactions should be interface to FI system. So now all finance related, okay, whatever the transactions which are happening. So now from here to here, it is happening. So now the transactions are finance related transactions which are happening, from, which are just sending the finance related transactions from here to here. Okay, this is one kind of interface system, because here also SAP system it is there, then here also SAP system it is there. This could be a one kind of scenario. Maybe let us assume the same finance system. Okay, so the same finance system. Okay, because to the same finance system even I have the third party system also. Let's say I'll put it here is some Salesforce. Salesforce system it is there. So now the Salesforce system, even all the sales related transactions which are happening, then all these transactions data which is going to sending from Salesforce system to SAP system. All finance related transactions, because this may be using some other country, this may be using some other country. So it's a depends on my requirement. We are just only talking about inbound interface, because this mechanism, the first interfaces are, okay, the data interfaces are two types. The data interface, the data
Outbound
inter
and inbound. Outbound means sending, and inbound means receiver.
exactly. One is a outbound, then second one is a inbound.
Inbound.
Yes. Oh, so one is a outbound, another one is a inbound data. So inbound interface, outbound interface means the data which we are sending out from our SAP system to external system. Okay, let's take
Yeah.
this. We have seen these two interfaces are inbound interfaces. Now let's see the one more scenario for outbound. Okay, how the data is being sent to the outbound. Okay, so now as I mentioned, this is my finance system. So from the finance system to the data, from the finance system to, there is I have a middleware system. I have a middleware system. Let's say the TIPCO. I have the middleware system. For what purpose I am using? What purpose? The TIPCO system which I am using to carry my EBS files to bank. Okay, this
Yeah.
TIPCO system. Okay, I'll put it here. The TIPCO system can be used for to send the EBS files to banks. Okay, to send the banks. Again, it's not only the inbound, not only the outbound. Even it is a inbound also, because we are sending the file. Okay, again from here to what will happen? Again here the files will be TIPCO system will pick from SAP. Again from TIPCO system to the bank, the files will be transmitted to the banks. Let's say now this will get transmitted to the bank. Again, the similar logic is applicable for, I mean, the same data. Then, the outbound files will be transmitted to the bank. Again, EBS files to be, again, SAP files to be out. I mean, it will be transmitted to the bank. Again, inbound and outbound. TIPCO system can be used to send the EBS files to banks and send and receive. I'll put it here, to send and receive purpose. To send and receive purpose. What we are going to use this one. Okay, let's say the interfaces. So now how the interface connectivity will be happen? It's a very important one. But now the interface connectivity. If you can ask me, remember the very important thing is that the interface connectivity, how interface, because as I said right here, it's a SAP system. How the data will be driven from the SAP to, I mean, interface. Then the interface connectivity, how you are going to build the connectivity. Okay. The interface connectivity will be will be the interface connectivity. I'll put it here, methods. Then one is a host to host connection, host to host connection. Then RFC connection, RFC connection. So what will happen? Host to host connection means there will be adapter will be there in between the source system and the target system. Then it will be connected. Then again, the RFC connection means there will be some SAP program where the SAP, the source and in between source and target system will be mapped. Then through the RFC connection, there is a program will be there. That program will be pick the data from the source system and it will get into the target system. This is also very important one. How the RFC, I mean, again, the RFC connection, how it will be connected. Then again, it's a technical team or some other teams will be interface team will take care of that one. Okay, it's not our job. Okay, so is it clear, Neeraj, about this one?
Yes, sir, this one like how like interface if they will ask how what I will say interface in example with this example I will explain.
See, yes, you can tell with this example, okay, how system it will get connected. Okay, one second, somebody is pinging. Okay, so now the interface, they don't ask you technical details. First of all, remember this point.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay. Then what they will ask, do you have any experience on interface side? Then you can say, yes, I have a experience on interfaces. Interfaces I have worked. Okay. So now you can say this example exactly what it has been, what the design it is there. You can tell the same example. Okay. Then how may I ask you what is the inbound, what is the outbound, how the data will be sent. The data might be sent in the form of flat file or some XML format or in the form of IDOCs. Okay, there might be different ways to send the data or to receive the data. Okay, that is the one they may ask you.
Okay, sir.
Okay, okay, fine, no problem. Okay, so now what we have seen interfaces. Okay, so we have discussed about interfaces. So now conversions. So now C stands for conversions. Okay, so now what is mean by the conversions? Okay, so now the conversions are nothing but a conversions are nothing but a let's say the version upgradation, or migration project, or then let's say the up, or let's say the convert or conversion conversion of legacy, conversion of legacy system data into into respective formats. So let's say conversions. Conversions, let us talk about, let's say, even in the conversions means, let's say, which I am upgrading my system from ECC system to SAP system. Sorry, from ECC system to S4 HANA system. So now while moving, we must have to convert the existing data. Okay, so the existing data, it could be a upgrade, during the upgrade, or during the migration, or during the conversions. So the data which I am converting now, into in the form of in readable format, the data which I am going to put into, let's say I have some BDC program, it is there. Okay, I'll give a small example, the conversions. There is a I mean, I have some small interface system, because in that interface system, all employees related, expenses related information, they are feeding into in that system, because there is no connectivity for that SAP system. So what I am doing, by end of the day, I need to extract the data from the source system, because there is no connectivity in between source system and the target system. I need to extract the data. That data I need to put into the respective format, then I need to upload the data into the system. Okay, so now instead of that one, because if I want to get the data from business users, or after downloading the data from source system also, then I need to prepare into some particular format to that, because that data should be read by my SAP system, and it should be create records into the SAP system. So this, you can imagine how much manual efforts it will take. Okay, how much manual efforts will take. Let's say now that daily there are 100 records, more than 100 plus records. So to avoid such kind of activities, what we can do, we can create some BDC programs or LSNW programs, okay, or some tools we have in, like say LTMC tools, to bring the legacy system data to migration. Okay, so there are some Fury apps which are available. Okay, even we can develop Fury apps also to upload the data. So it's a depends on the business requirement, the legacy data or legacy system. Okay, legacy systems data we have to convert into the respective format. We need to bring that one into SAP system. Okay, that is what about the conversions. Okay, I'll put it here. The data should be converted converted and converted and up converted and migrated through could be a BDC programs, BDC, or LSNW programs, or it could be a some LTMC. So LTMC is a, there is a one program which is there. Okay, or I'll also put it, or some Fury apps also, or some Fury apps, because Fury apps are available now.
Sir, one minute. Is it required to know both things like LSMW and LTMC also? Because in S4HANA, LSMW is not applicable,
Why?
right, sir?
Who said?
S4
Who said? Who said?
LTMC, right?
See,
Uh,
LTMC you can use it, but
okay,
still the LSNW functionality it is there. Okay, don't think that
okay.
LSNW has been decommissioned. Still LSMW it is there.
Okay, sir.
Okay, because in my last project S4 HANA
Uh,
2022 also, we
uh,
have used for couple of master couple of things to upload through LSNW. Remember, okay, the data we have, for that we have used LSNW only. Remember
okay,
that one. Very, very
okay, sir.
important one. Okay. Now, okay. So now we have seen about the conversions. Okay. So now conversions we have. Okay. Any queries so far about the conversion?
No, sir. Means it's a all version upgradation. Suppose, just I'm giving the small example. ECC 5. Now they are want to upgrade their version 6, right? AHP 6, ECC 6, then they want to update in EHP 7, right, sir? Or
Exactly,
S4HANA
exactly,
1909, then 2020. So the data will flow
exactly,
from
exactly.
all this data will flow from 1909 to 2020, right, sir?
Yeah, yeah. From legacy system to the late. I mean the source system to target system. Legacy system to new system. I would say.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Now coming to the enhancements. Okay. Sorry. Yes, I missed it here. Enhancements. So the data. What exactly mean by the enhancements? What does it mean by the enhancements? Because enhancements is a very important one. Okay, so now it could be, I would say, the example, the so now with the enhancements. Okay, so now this is also one kind of wherever the standard SAP does not support for the client's requirement, or not only that one, I want to enhance, or added business function. Okay, I want to add. Okay, so I'll put like this wherever SAP. Okay, wherever we are enhancing the business functions, or it could be a, wherever we are enhancing the business functions, or business functions with the new processes, with the new processes with the new processes, with the new process. Okay, sorry. Okay, wherever we are enhancing the business functions with the new business processes to fulfill the client requirements, to fulfill the client's requirement to fulfill the client requirements. So now to fulfill the requirements, let's say the data in the, I mean, I would say that in the implementation projects. Okay, so now what it will happen, the business requirements cannot be achieved. Most of the cases, the enhancements will be during the implementation phase. During the implementation phase, there are some business requirements which cannot be delivered with standard SAP system. Then we must have to check. Okay, when I would put like this, when we are unable to deliver, or when the standard SAP system does not support for client requirements with does not support for clients requirement with the standard functionality, we have to enhance the functions. We have to enhance the function. Okay, for according to business requirement, according to business requirement. So we have to enhance the functionality. Then how we need to enhance the functionality? So now we must have to work with the technical team, and the same process again, we have to prepare the functional specification. That functional specification need to be given to the technical team. Then but before that, we must have to understand the wherever the enhancements are required. Now I'll put it here. Before deciding this one, remember, before conclude if the requirement, if the requirement Okay, before conclude, if the object will fall under will fall into enhancement. We means being as a functional consultant, we have to check, we have to investigate, with the below parameters. With the below parameters. So now the number one is a what are the parameters means whether the requirement. First option would be whether the requirement will be fulfilled by validations, substitutions. Then whether the requirement will be fulfilled by the some ABAP reports. Then the third one, whether the requirement will be fulfilled by developments, fulfilled by ABAP developments. You must have to check this one. Okay, before going to conclude this one, how the requirement to be fulfilled. Either it could be a possible with validation substitutions, or it could be a possible with ABAP reports, or it could be a possible with the ABAP developments. How it can be fulfilled. You must have to ensure this one. It's a
Okay, sir.
very important one. This one. Okay. So then once you will be decide this one, then you need to discuss with the your the counterparty like your core team member or process owner. Then this is going to fulfill the requirement will be fulfilled in this way. So then how much once they will be approved with that one, again remember, in case if you are going with validations and substitutions, there might be too much validations or too much substitutions to be required. Let's say for each and every company code you wanted to go for the you wanted to build a 10 or 15 validations to fulfill that requirement. Then again it will have impact on your system performance. You need to be careful about that one also. Then
Okay, sir.
in case if you go with the ABAP reports, then ABAP reports means how can I fulfill? There should be some custom tables to be created in order to fulfill that requirement. How can we? Then some ABAP queries, sorry, not ABAP reports, sorry, this I mentioned is wrong. ABAP queries. ABAP queries. It's not the ABAP reports, ABAP queries. So now whether the requirement will be fulfilled with based on the ABAP queries. Then the next one would be a whether the requirement will be fulfilled by the ABAP developments. Okay, which one is feasible? You need to check all the grounds. Then you need to inform to the you need to communicate to your respective business people. Then you need to get it approved. Okay. So is that clear, Neeraj?
Yes, sir. Clear. But if they will ask any enhancement you done, then what I will say, sir? Like, suppose, sir, if they
See,
will ask.
enhancement in the sense you said that one. Okay, so now you can say the interfaces also. Okay, there was
Okay.
some interface system. Okay, which they
Okay.
wanted to connect with SAP system. Then I have done one enhancement like that. RL, you can tell them there is a one vendor aging report or customer aging report. Those are all part of your developments, right? You
Yeah,
can tell
yes, sir.
anything like validations and substitutions. Okay, you can tell anything,
Okay.
but you need to be careful about while explaining to the business requirement. To the interviewer, you need to remember, you need to aware the tables also. Okay, then the first you can explain the program logic. What is there in SAP? In previous system, what business is looking that one. Okay, you can explain that way. Now
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now coming to the next one would be a F. So the X. So now forms. So now what is mean by the forms here? Okay. So now second. Okay. So now forms. Let us think about what does it mean by the forms. Okay. So now each forms, if there is any requirement, remember, if there is any requirement to develop this one, I'll give you small examples here. Okay. So now forms where the forms are required, even for to develop a new form also, we must require one RICIF ID. We have already seen how the RICIF ID to be created. So now let's say I'll give a small examples to develop the form. Okay, so now I'll put it wherever the standard SAP system layout or output, okay, output does not support for client requirements. We must we have to we have to go for the we have to we have to develop a new layout that for that for that for that program So let us talk about the dunning. The simple example I will give you, the dunning
Okay,
or
sir.
customer statements,
Okay, sir. Statement.
customer statements, vendor statements. So now let us say the standard dunning report. Wherever the standard report it is available, the standard dunning report, once we execute the dunning, there will be a standard format will be there. But now in that, what my requirement would be the address of the company, logo of the company. Okay, then there will be some email ID. There will be some accounting clerk information should be available in that form layout,
Hmm.
in that form. But as
Hmm.
per in my current system, that is not available. So in that case, what we have to do, we must have to we must have to develop the new layout as per the client requirement. But that one also, before going to develop, the SO10 is the transaction code. There we can, but SO10 we can update header and footer information. But logo and inside of the information, how it should be appear, what information should be printed in that form, that will be technical team will be take care of that one. Because then even header and footer also technical team will do. Being as a functional consultant, we should know how to make that to be changes. For dunning form changes, header and footer transaction code is SO10. SO10.
SO10. Okay, sir.
Okay, remember that one. SO10. Exactly. Now, customer statements. So now statements of accounts. So now let's say I would say the customer. Okay, so now what are the open items which are pending? Okay, every monthly the statements of account which I want to send to the customer by monthly or by quarterly, by half yearly. How the mechanism? Okay, what is the layout of that one? Customer has been requested me, I mean, like that, the line, the document number, amount, and what is the tax code, and let's say the what is the terms of payment, what is the currency. Okay, in this format, the customer has requested. But now the standard SAP, it is not available few fields. Okay, so now that is the reason again we have to go for the enhance. We have to change the layout of that particular form. Okay, this is what how the forms to be changed here. Okay, Neeraj, is that clear about the forms? Because with the practical, I am explaining you. Okay,
Yeah,
where
yes,
the
sir. Yes,
change
sir.
point
Sir, yeah.
in yes. ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, header and footer will be done by S410, right, sir?
S410, exactly. S410.
S410.
I'll put S410
S410.
10 S410. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a clear form.
Okay.
It's a clear, sir. Form it's a clear.
Okay. No problem. Then the last one would be a W stands for
Work.
workflows. So now workflows. Then how the workflows? Workflows means there are standard workflows because in ECC system to set up the workflows it was a bit difficult because whoever aware of that workflow functionality, the technical team or the technical person should know about the workflows. But now in SAP, in S4HANA system, really very good functionality. They have simplified the workflows. Okay, in order to build the workflows, no need to write some ABAP program kind of thing. Okay, then there is some standard workflows are available. Then it's a standard workflows. I would say the standard workflows which are available, but for its feasibility, according to the feasibility, SAP feasibility, we can build the standard workflows. Okay, so now the standard workflows are available. Standard workflows are available in SAP S4 S4 HANA system. The standard workflows are available. So workflow is nothing but what does it mean by the workflow? If you can ask me the question. Now the workflow is nothing but approval functionality. Workflow is
Approval.
nothing but a approval 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 functionality between the authorized persons. Okay, if the persons have particular authorization, then let's say I'll give a small example. So now let's say group, we have the group A. Okay, let's say that now I have the group A, then group B, group C, it is there. So now whoever has been assigned, whoever employee has been assigned, then let's say the value amount. So now A should approve only from 0 to the value, the approval amount. I'll put it here is the approval amount limit. Okay, approval limit. I'll put it here. Approval, sorry. Approval limit. Let's say that this person should have the 0 to 1000. If this person should have the 1001 to 1001 to, the limit should have the, let's say the 10,000. Then this person should have the 1001 to let's say the 999. So now this kind of, so now if the employee or if the person will be assigned into this group, then tolerance group, I would say, then this employee should approve only this amount. If the employee falling under with this group, then he should approve only this much amount. If the amount is beyond that one, it should goes to the approver, this person, because the person should not have authorization. Is it clear?
Dual control it, control, I can say, sir.
Exactly. Dual control are, three layers of control. I would say. Okay.
Really? Okay. So, sir, like example here, what I can say, because like any examples are like workflow, like any example, like
See,
all
any
document.
example. Okay, no. Any example in the sense, but here in the standard, mm, standard example in the tolerance groups, we can say this one. If we want to process the document, if the document value is that, I mean, the for because for this workflow, not only for the approval, not only for the approval. Okay. Workflow, right? Workflow, even I'm not able to recollect. Okay, I'll do one thing. This workflow need to check. Okay, I'll check and I'll come back to you. Okay. Then I'll check in because I remember there are n number of workflows which I have built for treasury, but FI I need to check it. Okay. Comment this one. Okay, I'll put it in the yellow format so that it will be easy for us tomorrow. What is the open item? Okay, so this workflow process, I'll let you know definitely. Okay, so now anything you wanted to know about the RISIF? Okay, how the RISIF ID to be generated, how it will be achieved. Okay, with this application of the RISIF. This workflow I will explain you tomorrow. Okay, in tomorrow's session I will let you know.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so Neeraj, anything you wanted to know about this one? If you are okay, then you can share your screen and show me.
No, sir. Actually, today's session I will go. Okay, sir. Then I will
Okay,
make a
no
notes. It's
problem.
very important, sir.
No problem. Yeah,
Because
that's right, no problem.
everything I will not keep in mind, right, sir?
Yes.
Yeah,
See, I'm not saying that one, okay,
yeah,
because it's up to you, Neeraj,
yeah,
up to
yeah,
you, up to you.
yeah,
I'm not saying that one, you just let me know only today itself, okay? So that is the
yeah,
best practice
yeah.
because, okay,
Because, sir, if two
see,
or three example I have for